Hello there, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
And welcome back.
Yes, guys, you see, okay, I'm going to let Cindy say this name.
Oh, no, that's really Fagradalus Fajal.
I'll accept that. Fagradalus.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
Anyway, this one is erupting. I've actually seen conflicting statements on when it last erupted. The Watchers was saying 681 years ago. RT is saying 781 years ago. In this area. So they're saying that this particular volcano may not have erupted for 6,000 years, but the last eruption in the area was somewhere between 681 and 781 years ago. That's a long time period.
It is a long time period, and here it's going on, and that's really concerning.
Obviously, the aviation color code is elevated to red, which it means we got an eruption in progress. And, 40,000 to 50,000 earthquakes. That's just such a massive amount. Is this it? Or is there more to come?
I don't know. Of course, when we think things have reached their pinnacles, something else happens.
Yeah, well, one thing you could say for sure, and we've been talking about it, is that volcanic activity most definitely has been increasing. We got a lot of things that are increasing, and it's all over the news. Are we in the end times? Is this the end times?
I know it, and actually, yeah, I do feel it is very much like the end times, but it's going to take a lot longer than we think.
Yeah, it's the end of one particular age and beginning of another age. So let's see how she does with this one.
Klitschavaskoy.
Pretty damn good.
Yes, I butchered it still.
Pretty good, lassie.
Thank you.
And so we see up here, we got a new cinder cone over here in Russia, and a moderate explosive effusive flank eruption and gas steam activity continued over at this one. And I don't think there was any chili or beans involved here.
That's just yuck.
Sorry about that. Increased gas emissions, elevated surface temperatures at Cleveland Volcano in Alaska. Do we see like something going on here? Do we see like a cycle going to an all new level?
I would think so. It is definitely.
Talking about things going to all new levels. Here we have cosmic shower. Locals report seeing bright meteors in Britain, Cuba, and the U.S. And the thing that's different now, I mean, we're seeing a lot of just daylight ones, which they're hard to spot. But not only that, but you hear over here, heard a sonic boom. Apparently it was a meteor. And over here, reports of a meteor explosion. And this is in Cuba. A seismological station detected the shock wave. Multiple visual reports as well. Did you see that? And there's just so many of these that have been captured. Oh, by the way, just a meteor exploding over Pittsburgh tonight. No big deal.
I know. They're all over the place.
And I will say that some of the best Italian food I've had has been from Pittsburgh.
Interesting.
Yes. But I still like Carmine's down in Manhattan the best.
I would think that the best Italian food would be in Italy, though.
But I haven't been there yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. It very well could be.
Yes.
By the way, mysterious fireballs ignite blaze in Peachland, Canada. So here we go again. It seems like more and more are making it to the ground now, guys.
Then there's that. That's really interesting.
Yep. So we see there's a mysterious fireball caught in a video floating through the night sky near Peachland, and it sparked a blaze. Local residents said that they were walking, taking the garbage out, and noticed a bright object glowing in the sky. It seemed like it was kind of circling around, he said. Okay, well, that's not typical.
No, that's not just a rock.
Oh, yeah, there's a meteor. Hey, it's doing a Yui. Yeah. Hey, it's doing another Yui.
Yeah, that's more indicative of either, I don't know, a spacecraft or an entity.
Well, I've been looking at all these, and it's hitting me. I don't know, there's a little voice whispering saying that these things perhaps could be, well, there might be technologies involved. Whether it's just simply like Maybe the gods are playing Pong. You remember that old game Pong? You remember that on the Atari? It's like dink, dink, dink. Can you imagine that? Oh, hey, this asteroid's going to miss by, 2 lunar distances. We'll just nudge it. Dink. Oh, there it goes.
I know. It could be a game for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we're talking about gods with the little g.
Indeed.
So yeah, it seemed like it was kind of circling around. So he started videotaping. At that point, he said he thought maybe it's a drone. But then we saw it break up and start flying towards us. We saw the rest of it burn out, and then one piece basically fell down into the neighbor's yard. He jumped in his truck and drove to see if he could find it. At that point, he didn't know that it had sparked a blaze. Well, if he sees it and he sees some sort of black goo coming out of it, don't poke it with a stick, because it might jump on the stick, jump on your hand, and you'll never get it off.
I could see that happening, yes.
That was the beginning to The Blob. Do you remember that movie?
That was a fun movie, yeah.
This is pretty wild stuff. There's videos here. I'll give you guys all the links. Spectacular meteor fireball in Belém, Brazil. There you go. Another one. Guys, there's a lot of them coming down. A lot. Fireball over Spain. Spain seems to get a lot of fireballs as well. And, this is really a very, very serious condition. Our family member Rosemary, which you guys may know of her. She's actually come on the show several times, and we've done lives with her. She's a naturopathic doctor and just a true fountain of wisdom.
And a huge blessing.
Yes, and we love her. And, this is over in Australia, New South Wales, and we have quite a few family members over in this area. There's a dam over there that's in danger of bursting, and it would not be a good scenario. You see evacuations due to potentially record and life-threatening flooding going on. This is ongoing. We've talked about the flooding globally. We've seen so many roads, countless roads just washed away one after another. But this one, let's send our prayers out there for everybody over in that area that dam does not burst.
Please do, and thank you.
And I put one out of order here. One more fireball for the record here for this video. This one is over Indonesia, changes night into day. And again, there's just so many incoming. Is it the dragon of Mother Shipton?
It could be that dragon could be coming in.
Prelude to Wormwood?
Perhaps.
Yeah. And meanwhile, we had a 7.2 quake that hit near the east coast of Honshu yesterday. There was a small, 3-foot tsunami that was generated. It could be much, much worse. It really feels like things are going to a completely new level. We see a lost temple reappears after drought in Thailand, and a lost temple that was rediscovered here. Now, this one only disappeared 100 years ago. So I said to Cindy, did we talk about it? It's only been gone for 100 years, but it is the drought that's causing this to reappear. I
think that's really interesting, because I wonder if there's any kind of literature on it and what it was about and what they did.
I think what's more fascinating, I forget what his name is. There's a gentleman from India that shows there's so many times that they found temples that are indicating a mud flood in India from about 800 to 1,000 years ago, and complete temples that might be 300-foot tall structures, absolutely gorgeous, that are buried in sand in India, right? And they've been excavating them and finding them, and they do know that they're not that old. They're from about 1,000 or CE, somewhere in that range, 1200 CE. And it gets you thinking about how often these mud floods happen. And again, I got a question, because in my mind I have absolutely no doubts about extraterrestrials or interdimensionals. I know they're real. We've had countless interactions with them, and I wonder how much of this is a natural thing, or is it just a way of retarding humanity's progress?
Well, yeah, I believe that that's been the agenda all along, to slow our progress down. So when we reach a point where the abilities really are being activated, there's still more holding us back.
Yes, that's exactly what we see ongoing all the time. And we have another article talking about the fact that Mars, water mystery, vast amounts of liquid trapped in the crust of the red planet. So where did it all go? It's under the surface. And if we think about, well, how about look at the Earth, for instance? There's probably, twice as much, maybe 3 times as much water locked up in the crust than there is on the surface. What if it's the same thing with Mars right now, that there's really none besides just whatever is frozen in the polar caps? But what if there still is the original 2/3 or what have you, 2 to 3 times, if Mars is like Earth in that sense and was holding water under the surface 2 or 3 times what was on the surface, and the cataclysm that hit them just took away the surface water but left that intact, and it might be just amazing under there. Who knows what's going on under there, as you've seen, as Cindy's remote viewed and seen reptilians working with humans.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad environment. Actually, it's a very creative environment.
That's another story in and of itself. So thank you guys for being part of the family. Make sure you are subscribed and have the bell clicked. Thanks for your patience with us on the road. As it is a lot of times the case is great Wi-Fi, and then you pull into the RV park and you can't get a damn signal. So we end up having to do things off the phones instead of being able to utilize the computer, the laptop, which is itself a little iffy. And thank you, Linda.
Oh, yes.
Linda said we get over into her area, one of our family members. She had a computer she was going to donate to the EEARTS family, and that's beautiful, and we're going to try to do that.
Yes, and thank you so much again, Linda.
And thank you guys for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. We couldn't do it without you. Just to reach us, it's EEARTS at Proton Mail, although evolutionaryenergyarts at Gmail is just as easy to do that. Some people reach out through the website, and on the road that's tougher to access. So yeah, evolutionaryenergyarts at Gmail is probably the quickest, simplest way, but we also are able to check EEARTS at Proton Mail.
Yes.
As always, guys, stay prepared out there. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.